Most buyers think DC and Montgomery County are basically the same market with different zip codes. They're not. And that assumption costs people leverage, money, and regrets that they don't see until after they move in. Here are the trade-offs that actually matters, the ones most buyers miss completely. So DC and Montgomery County are often treated like interchangeable options. They're not. They compete differently, and they reward very different buying strategies. So the buyers who are happiest long-term understood the trade-offs before they bought, not after. I work with buyers relocating to the DC area and buyers deciding between DC and Montgomery County, Maryland, all the time. The mistake I see most often isn't choosing the wrong place. It's choosing without fully understanding what you're trading off. So let's walk through the differences that actually matter. One of the biggest differences is space and layout. In DC, buyers often prioritize proximity and walkability. That usually means smaller homes, tighter layouts, and less flexibility. Now over here in Montgomery County, buyers are more likely to get larger floor plans, more storage, and homes that adapt as life changes. So I had a buyer last year comparing a 1,200 square foot condo in Shaw to an 1,800 square foot townhome in Silver Spring. Same price, $575,000. So the DC condo had walkability and nightlife, and the Montgomery County townhome, it had a guest room, a yard, and 2-car garage. Of course, she picked Montgomery County. At the time, it felt like a compromise. A year later, her parents moved in temporarily. That guest room became critical, and she told me that she would have felt trapped in the condo. So neither is better, but buyers who assume they'll adjust later, they often feel that constraint immediately. The key is knowing which trade-off you're actually comfortable with. So competition works differently on each side. In DC, pricing is often driven by the micro location, a block, a street, or a specific feel. Two similar homes can perform very differently based on subtle location factors. In Montgomery County, competition clusters around housing type, condition, and price range. And here's where it gets interesting, because this affects how you negotiate. So that means negotiation strategy changes depending on where you buy. And buyers who don't adjust their approach often overpay or lose leverage without realizing why. Commute math is another area where buyers misjudge the trade-off. So what looks reasonable on a map doesn't always feel reasonable day to day. Some buyers value being able to walk to everything. Others, they value separation between work and home. So DC tends to reward proximity. Montgomery County, on the other hand, it tends to reward balance. Knowing which one you need matters more than shaving a few minutes off a commute. So think about flexibility. Many DC homes, they hold value tightly, but layout limitations can narrow your future buying pool. Montgomery County homes often appeal to a wider range of buyers over time, especially as households change. Buyers who think about resale early usually feels more confident in making decisions, even if they don't plan to move anytime soon. So how do you know which one is right for you? Here's the honest framework. Choose DC intentionally if you value walkability, historic character, and proximity over space, and you're comfortable with the layout trade-off. Choose Montgomery County intentionally if you value space, flexibility, and long-term adaptability, and you're planning for how your life might change. The buyers who regret their choice, well, they usually pick based on what looks good online, not what actually match how they live. And the right choice isn't DC or Montgomery County, it's clarity. So if you're weighing this decision and you want to keep thinking it through based on how you actually live, not just what you see online, you can book a private consult using the link below in the description. That conversation usually saves buyers time, money, and regrets. And if you're still researching, I've linked a video here that breaks down the biggest mistakes I see buyers make when they're relocating to the DMV area, including one that costs thousands without them realizing it. Thanks for watching. Bye.